Well, first of all, welcome, Southbridge Business Partners, to our annual meeting. I first have to recognize Steve Gardner and his team at the Wellsworth Hotel. First official thing is this is our annual meeting, so we do need a vote of the membership here. And what we're working on is the Board of Directors. So I'd like to have Karen read the slate of Board of Directors for us.
So the Board of Directors, the slate for the next year, the members at large are David Adams from Veterans Council, Ellis Cropper from New York Life Insurance, Greg Cummings from CP House, James Croto from Starkweather and Shepley Insurance, Elvis Dyer from Sturbridge Coffee Roasters, Kelly Hibbard from UMass Memorial Health Harrington Hospital, and the executive board is Robert Clements as president from Hyde Group, Lisa Fortin as vice president from Savers Bank, John O'Clair as secretary from Dexter, and Debbie Shiro as treasurer from Optical Heritage Museum.
Thank you, Karen. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Being that I see none, the slate is closed. I'd like to get a motion from the floor for the slate.
A motion.
Okay, thank you. Second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye, okay, there's your board for 2025, people. Thank you very much. So tonight I wanted to start by communicating the mission of this group, because it says who we are and what we're doing. The Southbridge Business Partnership, SBP, is organized to celebrate and enhance economic development in the area. This will be accomplished through organization, design, and promotion. The SBP will receive, administer, and distribute funds in connection with any activities related to our mission and goals. About us, we are organized by a volunteer group of business owners, principals, and interested parties committed to enhancing the economic opportunities for old, new, and potential business in Southbridge, Massachusetts. This will be accomplished through collective efforts and activities that recognize success, celebrate accomplishments, and support efforts of individual businesses to become established, to grow, and to prosper. With a large social media network and website and advertising opportunities, Southbridge Business Partners are assured visibility in the digital landscape. The reason I wanted to start by reciting this tonight is to make sure that everyone understands who SBP is and why we are here. The history of this group goes back in time, but in the end, we are a local business is supporting each other by banding together as the Southbridge Business Partnership. So let's take a look at the last year at SBP. Last year I talked about our strategic planning session. The board spent a full day working with an advisor to create a plan to direct our future. Some of the specifics from the plan are the following. Build capacity. Basically have more people involved in supporting SBP events. Number two, increase visibility. Locals don't know who we are. Who is SBP? They think we're part of the town, actually. And even though we work with the town, we are a business group locally. Number three, support, help, retain, and grow individual businesses. We need to support the local business base. Number four, attract new businesses. We need to promote Southbridge and what we have to offer to a business looking to locate here. Number five, support pop-up opportunities. Pop-ups can help bring people to town who would not normally come our way. Number six, increase membership. This is important. We need more people to do more together. Number seven, increase partnerships. We need to join those that are growing their businesses. Number eight, develop policies, procedures, and standards. This will make the group viable into the future. And number nine, improve cleanliness and attractiveness of physical environment. When people enter the area, cleanliness goes a long way. It's something that people remember. The other big program that we did this year is develop our new website. How many people have been to the new website? Okay. From the web perspective, it looks identical to the way it used to look. There isn't much difference on it, but its back end is where all the changes have happened. As I have just said, we are a volunteer group of business owners. We only have a certain amount of time to be able to devote to this association that we have. So I have a big call out to Karen Dyer of Southbridge Coffee Roasters. As Karen said to me a year ago, I'm looking to get off the board. I have a lot of other activities I'm involved in and I'm backing away, but I don't want to leave you without something that's going to help the group grow. And Karen is the one that built this website, and appreciate everything you've done for us, Karen. So anyways, let's run through a few things that the website can do. I'm going to kind of like go through it a little bit. I've signed in because I wanted people to see what this site is capable of. It has a lot of different features that we all are going to be able to use while we're running our businesses and be able to get in and out of it quick. I'm going to actually go to events. I wanted people to see this event that we're here and show you how it's built. So the event is actually built here inside of this, and the details of the event are put in here. And then we can actually establish emails as they go out to people. So everybody that's part of our email list will get an email concerning the event. And you'll get a registration notice to come into the website and sign in and register. Now, when you register, at the beginning here, we can send multiple announcements about the event. If you registered, you won't get any more announcements. It's kind of intuitive, which is great. So now you're not getting dinged all the time going, register, register, register. It knows you registered. And then on the back side, it will send you a reminder that, oh, you registered, and the day, 2 days from now, the event is coming up. By the way, the event is today, looking forward to seeing you. All of this stuff is automatically done on the back end of the website. In the past, we had to get on the phone, call people. We sent out emails. It'd go into a blind area, and then we all had to manage who had signed up and who hadn't signed up. So this whole thing is being done automatically on the backside, and now all of a sudden we have more time to devote to focusing things that we need to do, as I talked about on our strategic planning items. So we can move more towards those types of goals and getting those things done. The other side is that I also have pretty much everybody that's registered. I have all the information, I have their emails, and whether it's themselves and a guest or something like that. So all that information is inside the website for us, and it makes it a lot easier for us to manage. We also have a membership list that basically all the members that we have are here, and there's multiple members inside it. It can be up to 3 members inside of each partner that belongs to the group. So I can send out 3 emails to each person within the group. If we wanted to do more, it was a kind of one of those things where we had to back off on some of the features that we could buy, because they're going to charge you for it. If you wanted more than 3 people, we were going to have to pay a substantial higher rate, and we determined that 3 was a good number. I've had some people that said they wanted more, but it came to the point where 3 is enough. You're not just one person or 2 people, there's 3 people in a business, so it should be enough that everybody within a business is getting the information about what's going on and all. It does have some other features that we're not using. It has a store, has a donation type thing, but it also has a back end for our finances for invoices. So in the past, this was done manually. Somebody would be keep your name on a spreadsheet, and then when they had time to resend you an email to remind you to renew is when you'd get it. And typically it was a month or two after your renewal was due, and I got time today and I'm going to send out 15 renewal notices, perhaps. Okay, now it's done automatically. We have a date when you signed up originally, and now automatically the backside is it's sending you renewal notices. We can also tell it how many times we want to send you a renewal notice. And then on the other side is when you pay, all of that information is coming back in again. So again, it's not having somebody manually manage all of this. All of it's done is being done on the backside automatically. And again, we can also make changes to the website here if we wanted to, but again, we kept the website almost identical to the way it was before, so if you looked at the website, it didn't look like it changed, but the back side of it did. And the whole idea here is we're a volunteer group. We're all giving an hour or two when we have an hour or two in a day. And again, managing and running a business, we don't have a lot of time like that to provide. So this whole thing is actually making this, going to help this group become better. The board will be able to spend more time on things that are functionally better for the group. So, and I wanted to go through that because I thought it was pretty advantageous that we spent all this time this past year doing that. And you know, Karen has 6 months in the development, and then we've got the board learning how to use it as well, and we've had some changes within the board. So it's been a really good changeover, and I've just wanted to give everybody an overview of this and have you understand the things that have been going on during the year. So in 2025, what's going to happen? Well, we're still down to the one event that we do. Our major fundraising event is the Autumn Fest. Autumn Fest is September 20th on the Town Common. Lisa Fortin is actually chairing that this year again. Lisa's been doing it for the last several years, had done it with Elvis in the past. Elvis is at this point spending more time managing his business and doesn't have the time to devote to helping us out a little bit. So, you know, again, Lisa's taking it up. I know she's leaning on John Eclair. John isn't here. John, again, is traveling this week for a show, I think is what he's at. So, and I know what that's like because I'm always away on at shows. So, and then, so if anybody's interested in helping out, we need help at Autumn Fest, and it's about people doing. If we can get several people, it becomes less work for each one of us to do things that are going on. Even to the point where you reach out to Lisa and say, I can help the day of the event. And again, we're marking things. We're telling people where they need to go. The day before, the Friday before, we mark out all of the spaces on the common. So we go down there with cans of paint and tape measures and measure stuff off and mark stuff. There's just different activities that go on throughout the whole day. So again, we need help. And so whether it be you or anybody that you know that's looking to volunteer time or give time, we'd love to have you join in with us. We're trying to make this special. It's the biggest event that goes on in town that's sponsored by SBP and by the businesses in town. So it's something that we really like to stand up and continue. One of the projects that was put forth, that I put forth in the strategic planning, and I'm going to call it the Eye of the Commonwealth project. So I travel the country, pretty extensively, doing all these shows that I do around the country. And some of the things that I've seen back years ago, it was in Chicago when they started, and they had cows on all the business on the corners in front of all the businesses, and the businesses basically bought the cow. People that worked at the business painted and decorated the cow. Okay, and then these were sitting out front, and then at the end of the summer, during the whole year, they ended up having, basically somebody go around. They gave awards for the best dressed, a bunch of different awards and all. But it was an attraction getter, and they put these things out. And they just didn't do it one year; they did it for several years. So my thought process is with Eye of the Commonwealth, sitting out in the front of this building here is a giant pair of glasses. Okay, Southbridge is known as the Eye of the Commonwealth because of the AO. And we even have the monument out front for that. My goal this year is to developed a mold for us to make glasses on a smaller forefront. I'm talking about a 3-foot pair of glasses, okay, that we can develop and get businesses to join in and decorate each pair of these glasses. Now, this is probably a year and a half project. Part of the reason I kind of want to hold off a little bit this year is because there's a ton of road work that's going to be going on in town in 2025. And I think 2026, after all of this stuff is sort of done and gone away, we can feature this and get into advertising this program with come see the Eye of the Commonwealth and see all of these glasses that people have in front of their businesses. And again, Debbie Shiro, who's part of the board, Debbie has, at the museum, there's pictures of some of these glasses with women wearing them. One of them is actually my wife's aunt that goes, she's in her 80s, I think she's in her late 80s at this point. But anyways, 50 years ago, she was one of the models that they used at the AO. And she's got she's got glasses on with all different kinds of things all over the glasses and all. And I think this is an opportunity for us to do something significant that we can advertise and reach out to basically Discover Central Mass, work on an advertising plan with them so that they advertise it through their booklets, and they do a lot of advertising through New York State and different parts of the whole Northeast where things go out. And I think this is something for basically towards 2026 that we can accomplish and get this all done, and have a reason for people to come into town and see these things that we're doing. So there's a lot of things that we have going on. It's an interesting point in time. Like I said, the town of Southbridge does have a lot of construction going on. At our last meeting, we had Peg Dean come in and talk about all the construction projects in 2025. Most of these projects will be done in 2026. There are some others that are going out that far and even further, but the main ones in the core areas will be done. And I think it'll be something for us to keep moving on. The other thing that we need to do in 2025 is actually a membership drive. And we need to put together a plan. The board's going to have to work on this. This is one of my things I put in front of the board, but a membership plan to drive our membership. I mean, at this point, I didn't pull it up, but there's 77 members that are part of the business group. And we've lost several, people joined and then moved away. We need to have a goal of getting ourselves over 100 members this coming year. I think it's something that will help drive this group. It'll also help us to grow things that we're doing, events that we're doing in the Autumn Fest and anything else that we want to do, like this Eye of the Commonwealth event that I'm trying to put forward for us in the Southbridge Business Partnership. So that's all I have tonight. I'm actually going to be doing open mic. I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to talk about at this point.
First, I want to thank Bob for all the work he's done and I appreciate you guys voting me in as board of director, one part of the board of directors. I'm Dave Adams. I'm the president of the Veterans Council. I have Tracy Price here. I have Ellis as well. They're all part of the Veterans Council, and we've grown tremendously over the last few years, where we have over 30 members at this point in time, and it's great because we see it continually to grow. But I just wanted to touch base on a couple things that we're doing right now. Obviously, I've talked extensively about the initiative that we're doing, and we're still raising money for that. And we're working with a startup company called See My Legacy that helps with the donations, and where you can, I think I gave QR codes out at the last meeting. But that being said, we're still working on that. We only have $1.8 million to go. So, but we're going to make it happen. It's going to happen. That park's going to be absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't visited the World War Memorial Park by the fire station, collaboration with the town and the town manager, the Veterans Council was able to raise all those funds and get some contracts taken care of. And that park is absolutely gorgeous now. And we'll be posting a plaque up there as well with a QR code on it with the video of the first dedication in 1938 of that first public park within Southbridge. And it's an actual veterans park. Next, what we're doing is and I'm working with Rick Clemens here in the airport. We're going to be applying again for the Wall of Hills, which is the 75% design of the Vietnam Wall that comes and travels throughout the United States, just not continental, but Hawaii as well. So we put our name in for the first time last year, and lo and behold, instead of 100 people who applied or 100 organizations, they had 140. And we came in the top 40 and were invited back to apply again this year on Memorial Day. So we're going to tweak a little bit here and there, but we didn't get it. No organization in the state of Massachusetts received it this year. So they're going to be in Connecticut or Vermont, New Hampshire. So we're going to attempt to do it again, and we'll be raising funds for that event itself, but it stays here literally from Tuesday to Sunday, right, with big fanfare when the wall comes in. We need about 30, 40 volunteers, but that's here in the future. But we're actually applying for that again, especially for our Vietnam veterans and their families that they didn't get the welcome home they should have gotten, some 50 years ago. We just found out, and we approved at our last council meeting, the Women's Veterans Network Conference. The 17th annual conference is going to be right here at Wellsworth. So they asked the Veterans Council of Southbridge to help. I'll be reaching out, myself, Tracy, all of us really, and the Veteran Service Officer for the town of Southbridge. Be reaching out to town manager and quite a few others, the town council, to bring them in here. And that's going on the 17th of May. Obviously, we're already working on Memorial Day, which is going to be the last Monday, which is May 26th. We'll have the parade, but we'll be getting with the business partnership with that as well. And lastly, on April 9th, I don't know if you've heard the story, it's been in the Telegram and Gazette a few times, Sergeant Kowalowski, who was a World War II veteran, World War II aviator, died in the mountains of Austria in April of 1945. And they discovered his body. He was the only one who didn't make it out the plane. Discovered his body in the mountains of Austria. This was in 2019, 2020 during COVID. And they did the DNA. They probably sent him all the way to Hawaii, Oahu, where they have the testing. And they identified him, got a hold of the family members. And we've been in touch with the family members. So a bunch of us veterans, I believe some council members, I will be posting, are going to head out to the Arlington National Cemetery where he's going to be buried after all these years. So we're looking forward to that, and also hopefully we'll be able to lay a wreath at the unknown soldier tomb. Thank you. That's all I got.
So one of the things, the notes on my next page that I forgot to go into is that one of our board members, Greg Cummings, has developed this website, Southbridge 365. Okay, and what the Southbridge 365 website is really a local calendar, okay, calendar of events. And Greg is, I keep saying Dave because Dave was up here, sorry Greg. Greg has developed this so that we can have a central place so that all calendar items could be placed locally. Now, as SBP members, we're trying to work on developing that you can get a link on the calendar, as well as just a calendar listing. So non-members would get just a calendar listing. SBP members would get a link calendar listing, so that you could actually hit it and go to your website or wherever you have the data that you want about your event. But the whole idea is we needed locally a place for everybody to go and see what's going on. That whole adage about people around town going, there's nothing ever going on in town. Well, I guess what, I'm seeing that more and more is getting populated here. But Gateway Players, there's different things that are on here already. And this is something that we're going to work on publishing around town so that people get to see it, understand that there's a place that we can go. The other side of it is that, okay, I want to look at the calendar, and right now there probably isn't anything there, but I want to run an event in August, and I just want to, see what events are going on in August. And so I can actually look out into the future and find out if there are any events going on in town during when I wanted to plan something. At least we have a place that you can go and do that. And I picked August just because. But the idea is we have a group, or we have something that we want to feature, and I don't want to put it on a weekend when there are 30 other things going on in town, but I can pick a weekend where there's nothing going on, or a day that there's nothing going on in the future, and try and claim that day for my event. And the whole idea behind this is to get more of our total community and anybody that ever wants to come into Southbridge, a place for them to look and see where things are, what's going on. I happen to be coming to the Wellsworth Hotel, and the Wellsworth Hotel can say, well, you can go to Southbridge 365 and see the events that are going on the weekend that you're planning on being here. Those types of things. So this is something that has always been thought about in the past, and I got to give Greg a lot of credit for putting it together and making it available to everybody. So again, thanks, Greg. Yes, so basically go to, again, the southbridge365.com, and you can fill out the contact form, and then you can send the events to Greg inside of there once you fill out the contact form. So it's not hard to do, and get your stuff listed so that people know what's going on. We're trying to, again, utilize as much of this digital world landscape that we work on to make it available to everybody.
So thank you for your leadership, and it's exciting to see all that's happening. First of all, I'm Dick Whitney from the Optical Heritage Museum. Deb Shiro and Shiro, sorry, I always say it wrong. And Greg, thank you for their support. I don't know if you noticed, but this week the Telegram featured the museum and also the hotel. They came here, and it was even on MSN. So, I was today speaking a little plug for the museum. It's in town. You should come by. Nationally, people are looking at fundraising, and I'm getting a national group because we need fundraising. But be that as it may, I'll talk more about that another time. The partnership, I was on the board in the past. I'd like to see how it's grown. Thanks to your leadership. I'll put out a challenge, however, to grow exactly what you just said as far as a project. I've been chomping at the bits for projects for years. But whatever that is, and I think it's a board discussion, is why would you want to join SBP? Yeah, they do things, you're great people, but what's in it for me? And I think if you had an elevator speech that said, this is why we're going to do other things. But right now, I'm not sure what I'd say. You do great work, but all the background stuff that was needed, now you have to excite people that don't understand the work that was accomplished. So to the board, I would say, whatever input you got from last year, maybe there's some good ideas. Projects to me are very important. So whether it's a cow or eyeglasses, I like that concept. I talked about putting things in windows, but whatever, it's great. I just say to the board, why should I join? And that's what you have to answer when you're asking for new members. And that's my message. But thank you for all your hard work, and that's it.
I'm Maura Power, YMCA, and it's that time of year again to think about the 4th of July road race out of the Y. So a few things this year. We're going to collaborate with the coffee roasters, and we're going to have a blend that will be a VFW race. It's our 76th running. So when you register for the race, you can also opt in to getting a pound or so of coffee. But it happens on the 4th, and I want to challenge all of the people here in the partnership and have someone from your organization run, walk, crawl, whatever it might take, the 4.9 race for the 76th running. So hoping to organize some of that and maybe getting that out. So with both 365 and our new webpage, maybe being able to utilize that and somehow. So we're going to try and develop that a little bit more. And so that's my challenge to you, but it's a great race, and that's the 4th of July race. And then changing hats, David had something for me to mention. I mean, Kathleen. We have our open house at the YMCA this weekend, 12 to 2, Saturday. And there's camp registration, which always fills up. And then on the 4th, we have our Day of Giving. So,
National YMCA Day of Giving.
oh, it's the National YMCA Day of Giving. So that's March 4th. And campership opportunities. So,
The thing is, send a kid to camp.
oh, send a kid to camp, which we've done in the past, or there have been other pieces.
$300 sponsorship will send a child to camp for a week.
That's not bad. $300 a day. I mean, $300 for me. $300 sends a kid to camp for a week, and it's fabulous up on in Charlton.
It's magical. It is.
Yeah, and we'll have an open house there too. So maybe we'll put that on the calendar. All right, that's what Dave.
Hello, my name is Erica Burrows. I'm from the Center of Hope Foundation. I'm going to be a little bit of an interloper here. Bob was very, very gracious in sharing some information about the Central Mass South Chamber of Commerce with all of you guys. I do want to just reiterate that there's a lot of scuttlebutt about the Chamber. The Chamber of Central Mass South is alive and thriving. We have joined with Worcester currently at this time, and as we are in this period of transition, our tagline, our unofficial tagline is Better Together. And we are going to continue to, we are going to continue to work to, like you guys, to regrow, to help people to understand the importance of why you join a chamber, what the member benefits are. But if you have any questions about membership, about the value of the chamber and what it can do for your business, of course, we don't want to ever step on the SBP toes. The Center of Hope is very invested in this group as well. But if there's any collaboration, anything that we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
So, and do the Center of Hope hat too. Because perhaps you're going to remember when the craft fair is April 21st, I think. So if you're, I'm sorry, you're going to have to. It'll be on the calendar by this week. It's not yet. No, it is on the calendar?
I try to scrub as much as I can, but it's much easier if you send it to me. But I believe it's on there in April. I don't know, we can check.
26. It is? Oh, hey, cool.
I make this stuff up because
It's going to be out in our Scoops of Hope parking lot. And we already have 26 people who've signed up, and we hope to have more, and we're very excited about it. It's very different. Children can come and be involved. There'll be, so it'll be kind of a mixture of events here. We also, of course, we have things going on all year, and I want you all to, when you see that Coming for a Sandwich and Social again, we're still doing that monthly now that COVID's over. Please come and have lunch with us so you can learn about the Center of Hope. And we are having a capital campaign still, and we're in the last 2 years of that. We've got 75% of our goal, hoping to wrap this up as quickly as we can. It's a lot of work, and we appreciate this town and the businesses in this town who have supported us in this endeavor so that we can create better space for the people we serve. So please think of us when you want to give your money away. We all need it.
So I'm excited that this is my first meeting as the president and founder of Jazz Yoga Health and Wellness. And yeah, so really excited about that. And really thinking about Jazz Yoga Health and Wellness, not just a yoga practitioner, but really think of it as a one-stop shop and thinking about, during these really difficult times for many organizations, many businesses, and your clients and your staff and your employees and their well-being. And my program not only provides the programming, but I also incorporate grant writing so that we can partner together and go after funding in order to be able to provide programming to your clients, to your employees. Currently, I'm partnering with the Kiva Center and offering yoga for everybody, right? So it's inclusive and bilingual and accessible to everyone. That is the tenets of my yoga practice. And where the Kiva Center and I collaborate so that participants get the service for free, so that anyone in our community can participate. I have some flyers, and we currently offer yoga on Friday nights at 7 p.m. at the Kiva Center at 346 Main Street. I am also currently partnering with Stars of the Future and the Bridge of Hope on Everett Street, and we are currently writing a grant to provide after-school yoga to students in middle school and high school. And so thinking about leadership retreats and thinking about, I also have a Writing to Heal workshop, making art out of trauma, where I incorporate some of my writing skills. And some of the folks might not know that I do have an MFA in creative writing. And so really combining all of those different pieces to service many different parts of our community. I am currently getting a certification for yoga for first responders and thinking about our veterans and thinking about our firefighters and our police officers and their stressors and their trauma that they experience every single day as they serve our communities. And so these are all programs that are going to be available to the community and to providers, to all of your organizations. So I look forward to partnering with people in the future, and I'll get that information for the calendar. And I'm also not Dave. Thank you.
Thanks, Jasmine.
My name is Chris Kniff. I'm the Vice President of Administration at UMass Harrington. Just a couple quick updates and really want to tie back to last month's meeting. As I'm sure we all are aware, right, it's been a really, really tough cold, COVID, flu, RSV, norovirus, anything else you have season. We were just actually notified our region in the state, and really it's been the last couple of weeks we've been at this level, but Department of Public Health decided today that they elevated our kind of capacity and threat risk for the area up to level 3 this morning. And that just really puts into context of how busy it's been at our hospital, at UMass, everywhere in the region. Our caregivers have been really sick. Our patients have been really sick. We've got a lot of boarders in RER. The medical center we were talking about a little bit earlier is even worse. So it's hopefully with the warmer weather, we're on the precipice of putting this winter season behind us, but it's really been a stretch. And our folks have been doing a really good job. So hopefully if you've had any opportunities to been in any of our facilities, the service has been okay, but we've got some people that have been really, really stretched thin and are pretty tired. But relief is on the way, hopefully, in that earlier this week we had DPH came in, did a tour of our brand new ICU, did the inspection. We had all the air handling stuff done. We had all the computers firing up, and we're hoping, and if I had wood, I would knock on it, in the next maybe couple hours, we might be seeing our first patients there, at least by the end of the week. So we're right on the precipice of it. It'll increase our bed capacity. We'll have an overflow unit up there as well. And hopefully those of you that were able to come last month enjoyed the tour. It's an odd opportunity to be able to see an ICU right before we're able to put patients in there. It looks beautiful. We're able to bring in some artwork that was done by local artists that are now up on that 4th floor and inside the ICU that was all painted by people that are residents of our community. So we have some stuff by Southbridge and Webster and a lot of the other areas. So it looks really cool. So if you have an opportunity, hopefully for the right reasons, you're able to see us. And if you do go in there, just bear with us because it's going to be busy for the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
I don't know how many of you made it up to the last month's meeting, but it was pretty fantastic to walk through there and see the changes and what they've done to that facility. So, again, excuse me, some of the things that we think we take for granted if we're locals, the resources that we have here in Southbridge. We'll back up natural resources. The town has its own water supply, has its own sewer system. We have a full-time police department. We have a full-time fire department. We have a full-time DPW crew. The town hall is functioning 5 days a week and doing a lot of things for us. On the backside, we have a hospital. We have, again, not a regional school system. We have a local school system. And then there's a lot of local businesses in town that have been here for a long time. I wish John was here from Dexter. Dexter goes back to 1818. Hyde is celebrating later this year. It's going to come out. We're celebrating 150 years in business in Southbridge this year. So there's a lot of things in town. There's resources that we all have, and it's just incredible that a lot of people don't know what's here. And so it's beyond what the average town has. When you go further out in the area, they just don't have all the services that we have that's available to us. So sometimes we take them for granted, and I just wanted to point that out. Any other announcements?
Hi, everyone. To those that don't know me, my name is Carla de la Cruz Davila. I am the co-founder and president of the Wellstorm Inc. And I just wanted to bring up just 3 events that are coming up. One is July 12th. It's called our Christmas in July fundraising event. That's going to be at the Oakholm Brewery. We would love to take your money. Please join us, and you can find out everything that we do. I make huge announcements about everything we've accomplished in town with food insecurity, mental health, homelessness, things like that. And then June 14th, we have our Social Serenities board game. That day is essentially just a day for family to come out and play board games and put these lovely things away, because I feel like we don't do that anymore. When I grew up, I was always outside. I was always playing board games. My mom would have to call me in to say, hey, the lights are out. Maybe it's time to get in, So I missed those days. So I figured, why not bring it to town and have a good time with family and kids? Last year, we had our very first back to school book bag drive where we gave away 350 book bags with supplies for free for our community. This year, we're going to do it again, August 16th from 1 to 4. So if you guys would have like a bin in each of your organizations so we could start getting more book bags. We already collected 300. Our goal is 500. And we're also doing supplies as well. So if anybody wants to help us out, please feel free to reach out. We're always looking for clothing as well. I partner up, my next meeting. We partnered up with Wardrobe on Wheels, and if you haven't heard about Brooke, she brings a trailer, and it looks like a little boutique where she gives away free clothing. So she will also be there during our Social Serenity board game. Jazz, yoga, and health will also be there. We're also going to offer free ice cream and a bunch of different activities for the community. So please feel free to reach out. I'm available email, phone. If you want to talk separately, I'm more than happy to give more details. And we have 2 other fundraising events going on too, but if you follow us, they'll be there, or I will give you the information. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sue Starkey.
I love this town. All the good people doing so many good things. Thank you. This is all inspiring. I actually have a message from Peg Dean, who is the Economic Development and Planning Director. She wanted me to let you know that we really don't know much at all about what's happening at the government level with federal funding. The one thing that we've seen in town is that a position was eliminated last week for our urban forester. Other than that, we don't have any updates for you. We do have a DPW update. Rich, who was DPW director, resigned. There's an interim director, Butch Jackson. Some people might know him because he's was the director in Southbridge before. Jack can fill you in on more if he has information about that. And the DPW in town is still planning on keeping businesses and residents informed on a timely basis about all this work that you heard will be going on on the streets in Southbridge, Crane Street, Hamilton Street, North Street neighborhood. That's it from her. My one idea that I wanted to toss into the mix is trying to celebrate the businesses and the things that we can do and the walkability of this town, possibly having pop-up things. But if people can't necessarily drive to places very easily, maybe they can park someplace like your store or shop and walk in groups. Work with each other to do shopping, help a neighbor so everybody doesn't have to drive. Just throwing it into the mix of the way we work as a community to remember that it's great. Even when you go through a little bit of a tough time, it still can be fun. That's it.
I just thank you everybody for being here. It really is an exciting time, even though we have our challenges on certain fronts every day. Every business has their challenge, and we overcome them. So Butch Jackson will continue. We've actually hired him full-time, not full-time, but on a permanent basis as a project manager. But he's going to serve as the interim director. So he's going to be managing all those projects that we have with your local businesses. So there'll be continuity of that, and he'll be a permanent employee for the town of Southbridge. He said, I don't know if you have enough projects. I told him, I certainly have enough projects for you, so you're not going to go anywhere. So on that front, so last night at our Planning and Development Subcommittee meeting, the subcommittee gave approval to go to the full council for a MassWorks grant that we're putting in, an expression of interest for Central Street and Hamilton Street from the main street down to where the TIP project's going. It's a $5 million project. We're looking to improve the Central Street corridor with the restaurants that you have down there, try to move some of the utilities around. So we are working to put that forward if we get that grant to go to design on that. Peg is also working, and this is all out of Peg's office, and they do a great job down there. We're also putting in an urban agenda grant for $50,000 to try to improve the area in front of Cornerstone Bank. The furniture that's out there that's kind of aged, and also in front of Cornerstone and Savers Bank, that pocket park right there. So we're putting a grant in for that. I know Rick is here. Rick really doesn't say much, I don't think, about the airport, but we really have to remember that jewel that we have as the airport, the money that we've invested in that facility, and through their efforts, we have a lot of opportunity in groups that actually want to come to Southbridge and further develop that airport, which is a great asset for us. I want to thank all the businesses, because when you look at the community, I had an email from many of you may know Tom Huchinatara, I think you pronounce his name. He's doing a little food truck now, Panda Garden, I think. Oh, no, not Panda Garden, Panda Foods, right? Panda Foods. He sent me an email today saying, Angry Panda, thank you, saying that he's only been there a couple weeks, but he observes all the traffic in the area in that section of town. And his message was, I can't believe the potential that I see in this area, and I want to be a part of it. So I've invited him to come forward and be part of that change. So that's the great things that we see out there. And our community is fantastic. I've lived it my whole life, and I've always known how good the community is. But really, I want to thank everybody, because I don't think I've done this in a couple of meetings. When we had the fires on Cross Street, the community that came together was incredible, from the hospital to local businesses to the support that we had to assist 13 families and then another 3 families afterwards on that day. That really is a testament to our community and our ability to come together. And as a police chief, one of our models, well, the motto of the Mass Chiefs of Police is, and I truly believe this, in unity there is strength. As long as a community like us, and we work continually in that unity, we are much stronger, and there's a lot of future for us. So I thank you all for everything. There are a lot of great things happening, and we'll continue to work together. So thank you.
At this point, I wanted to talk about our next SBP partners meeting, and I hadn't confirmed with Greg. See, I'm calling you Dave. Greg. We were supposed to be at QCC, so Quinebaug Community College is hosting the next meeting on March 26th, and it's supposed to be at the high school, right? Yeah, okay, it is at the high school. That's the one thing I hadn't confirmed. So at 5:30 p.m. on March 26th is our next meeting, and part of that meeting is we have a speaker. So anyways, looking forward to seeing all of you there, and hope you have a great evening, and thank you very much. Take care.